Hello students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. In the previous session, we have revised a few topics from lesson 14. Today, let's revise the remaining topics, that is types of blood circulation, heartbeat, heart sound, cardiac cycle and blood groups. Types of blood circulation. There are three types of blood circulation. They are systemic circulation, and second one is the pulmonary circulation. Third one, coronary circulation. So, three types of blood circulation: systemic circulation, pulmonary circulation and coronary circulation. Now, let's see one by one. First, let's see systemic circulation. The systemic circulation starts from the left ventricle of the heart. This is the left ventricle. So, this circulation, systemic circulation starts from the left ventricle of the heart. Okay, so aorta carries oxygenated blood. So, which one carries oxygenated blood? Aorta, through this way. Okay, aorta carries oxygenated blood to all the organs of the body. Okay, to all the organs of the body, and when it is coming back, it collects deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. Okay, so starts from the left ventricle and it carries oxygenated blood to all the parts of the body, and when it is coming back, it collects the deoxygenated blood and reach into the right atrium. Okay, so like that, this side also, here also. Okay, so collects oxygenated blood to all the organs of the body, and when it is coming back, carries deoxygenated blood. So, this type of circulation is known as what? Systemic circulation. Then second one is the pulmonary circulation. So, this pulmonary circulation starts from the right ventricle. This is the right ventricle. So, first one starts from the left ventricle, and second one, pulmonary circulation, starts from the right ventricle. Okay, so from the right ventricle, pulmonary arteries arises. This is the pulmonary artery. So, this pulmonary artery arises from the right ventricle and reaches to the lungs with the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so from here it takes deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Which one? Pulmonary artery. And from the lungs it carries oxygenated blood to the left atrium. Okay, this side also it takes deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and from the lungs it carries or it collects oxygenated blood and reaches into the left atrium. So, this type of circulation is known as what? Pulmonary circulation. So, these two types, pulmonary and systemic circulation, is known as double circulation. Why it is known as double circulation? When the blood circulates twice through the heart, two times. Okay, this is the one way, here to here and here to here. Is it another way? This way. Okay, so the blood circulates twice through the heart in one complete cycle. So, through the heart twice, but the cycle in one complete cycle, that is known as double circulation. So, what is double circulation? When the blood circulates twice the heart in one complete cycle. That word how to remember, in one complete cycle. That is known as what? Double circulation. During the circulation, oxygenated blood do not mix with the deoxygenated blood. You see whether it is mixing? No, is it? So, the oxygenated blood do not mix with the deoxygenated blood. So, now we have seen pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Then what is double circulation? Now, let's discuss coronary arteries of the heart. So, now you see this diagram, this is the heart, right? So, here many coronary arteries are present. This is the left coronary artery, this is the right coronary artery, and these are the sub arteries. Anyway, these two only main arteries, main coronary artery, left coronary artery and right coronary artery. These are the sub arteries. So, anyway, when you go to higher classes, you can study these all the arteries, right? Okay, then what is the use of the coronary artery? This coronary artery supply blood to the heart muscles. Coronary artery supply blood to the heart muscles. You know, the heart is made up of cardiac muscles, a special type of muscles. That muscles are known as cardiac muscles. So this coronary arteries, what are the coronary arteries? Left coronary artery, right coronary artery, right marginal artery, left marginal artery, different arteries are present, is it? So these arteries supply blood to the heart muscles. So this is known as what? Coronary circulation. So the third type of circulation is known as coronary circulation. The coronary arteries supply blood to the heart muscles. Now you see in this diagram, this is a part only. Okay, so this area is known as sinuses, coronary sinuses. So this coronary sinus collect the deoxygenated blood from the heart muscles. Okay, so these are the arteries. Coronary arteries supply oxygenated blood to the heart muscles. But in this coronary sinuses collect deoxygenated blood from the heart muscles, and after collecting, this coronary sinus enters into the right atrium. Right, children? So these are the functions of the coronary arteries. The coronary arteries supply blood to the heart muscles, and coronary sinuses collect the deoxygenated blood and enters into the right atrium. Single circulation. The blood flows through the heart only once for completing one circle. The blood flows through the heart only once for completing one cycle. When the blood flows through the heart, it flows as oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Okay, so in some animals, the oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood are mixed and passed through the heart only once, only one time. This type of circulation is known as what? Single circulation. Example, fishes and certain reptiles. Okay, then we can see double circulation. The blood flows through the heart twice for completing one cycle. The blood flows through the heart twice for completing one cycle. In one way, oxygenated blood can flow. In another way, deoxygenated blood can flow. This one already I taught you. I hope you all understood. Right? Okay, example, frog and human. So what is double circulation? When the blood circulates twice through the heart in one complete cycle. That word don't forget. In one complete cycle, that is known as what? Double circulation. Types of circulatory system. So our next topic is types of circulatory system. Already we have seen types of blood circulation, 3 types of blood circulation. Blood circulation and circulatory system different. Okay, so don't confuse with that. So 2 types of circulatory system. They are open type of circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system. Open type and closed type. First we can see closed type of circulatory system. Example, human beings or all the vertebrates. So in the human body or all the vertebrates body, the type of circulatory system is closed type, because we have the special type of blood vessels. We have arteries, veins and capillaries. Through that blood vessels, blood can passes and circulated throughout our body. So this type of circulation is known as closed type. Okay, through the specific blood vessels, blood can flows. Then the next one is the open type of circulatory system. In open type, the blood is pumped by the heart into blood vessels. That blood vessels open into the sinuses. Here there is no specific type of or special type of blood vessels. In the closed system, we have the arteries, veins and capillaries. Like that, in open circulatory system, it is not present. Okay, anyway, blood vessels are there, but there is no special type of blood vessels. Okay. So the blood vessels open into the cavities, that is known as sinuses. Now you see in this diagram, this is the cockroach diagram. Okay, so in this area, the blood vessels open into the sinuses. Sinuses means that is a body cavity. That body cavity is known as hemocoel. Okay, so the sinuses or the body cavities which are called what? Hemocoel. right? So in open type of circulatory system, blood is pumped by the heart into the blood vessels. That blood vessels open into the cavities. That cavities is known as what? Hemocoel. So this type of circulatory system is known as open type of circulatory system. Here capillaries are absent. Example, arthropods, mollusks and ascidians, lower organisms, right? Our first topic is heartbeat. So what is heartbeat? Heartbeat means one complete contraction and relaxation of the auricles and ventricles of the heart constitute heartbeat. Contraction phase is known as systole. Now just you see this heart picture. Okay, so this ventricles, here ventricles are located. Is it the ventricles pump the blood with high pressure? At that time the heart contract. Okay, the heart contract. That condition is known as what? Systole. Then after that, when the atriums are receiving or when the auricles are receiving the blood, at that time the heart relaxes. That relaxation phase is known as diastole. So contraction phase is known as systole and the relaxation phase is known as diastole. Okay, so relaxation of the auricles and ventricles of the heart constitute heartbeat. So definition is one complete contraction and relaxation of the auricles and ventricles. Okay, then now the normal heartbeat is 72 to 75 times per minute. This one you have to learn because this is a important one word question. Okay, so normal heartbeat is 72 to 75 times per minute. Now we are going to see initiation and conduction of heartbeat. So next topic is initiation and conduction of heartbeat. So here you have to remember the four parts. Okay, that is SA node or another name is pacemaker, then AV node, and third one is bundle of His, and fourth one is Purkinje fibers, because these four parts are involved in the initiation and conduction of heartbeat. So you have to remember the four parts. So first we have to see the human heart is myogenic in nature. Human heart is myogenic in nature. What is the meaning of myogenic in nature? That means the heartbeat is initiated by the specialized group of muscle fibers, so that it is known as what? Myogenic heartbeat or myogenic in nature. Why? Because the heartbeat is initiated by the special type of muscle fibers, that is SA node, so that it is known as myogenic heartbeat or myogenic in nature. Okay, example, human beings. So we have myogenic heartbeat. One more also there, that is neurogenic heartbeat. Neurogenic heartbeat means the heartbeat is initiated by the nerve impulse or nerve ganglion that is situated near to the heart. Okay, nerve ganglion that is situated near to the heart. So it is known as what? Neurogenic heartbeat. Example, annelids and some of the arthropods. For us, not like that. Okay, we have the specialized group of muscle fibers. That muscle fibers are known as what? SA node. Okay, so that human heartbeat is myogenic in nature. This is a SA node. Understand, children? Now we have to see how the initiation and conduction takes place in the human body. So first point is human heart is myogenic in nature, that I told. Okay, that is myogenic in nature. Second point is conduction of heartbeat is initiated by the sinoatrial node. This is the sinoatrial node. Okay, so conduction of heartbeat is initiated by the SA node. Okay, sinoatrial node or SA node. It is otherwise known as pacemaker of the heart. SA node is known as pacemaker of the heart. Why it is known as pacemaker of the heart? Because it is initiating the impulse. The SA node is initiating the impulse, so that it is known as what? Pacemaker of the heart. So where the SA node is located? Near to the right atrium. Near to the right atrium. This area is known as what? Atrium, right atrium. So near to the right atrium, this SA node is located, as well as near to the superior vena cava. This one is the superior vena cava. So at the bottom. So in this region, SA node is located. So near to the superior vena cava. Understand? Okay, then third one is the wave of contraction from SA node reaches the atrioventricular node. So SA node initiate the impulse, that impulse reaches into the AV node. That impulse reaches in which region? AV node. This is okay, this region, this is the AV node. So AV node initiate the impulse, that impulse reaches into the AV node or atrioventricular node. Okay, then third point, the impulse from AV node spreading to the ventricular muscle via atrioventricular bundle and Purkinje fibers. So this area is known as what? Ventricular bundle or bundle of His. This region, this is the bundle of His region. Okay, bundle of His region. Why it is known as His? Because the scientist His only first discovered atrioventricular bundle. So because of his name, that is the atrioventricular bundle is known as bundle of His. Okay, so this impulses reaches into in which region? That is the bundle of His. Okay, so after that, through the bundle of His, then it through this area it can enters, and through the Purkinje fibers it reaches into all the parts of or it reaches into the ventricular region. Okay, so these fibers, just you see, this is the Purkinje fiber, this one, and these are the areas, the Purkinje fibers. It is clearly visible, is it? So through the Purkinje fibers it can enters into the ventricular region. Okay, so like that, initiation and conduction of heartbeat takes place. One more time, just I am telling, listen carefully. So first one, initiated by SA node. So that impulse is initiated by the SA node, sinoatrial node. So that impulses enters into the AV node, atrioventricular node. After that, this AV node spread the impulses through the bundle of His. And after that, what will happen? So that bundle of His spread the impulses through the Purkinje fibers. So through the Purkinje fibers it enters into the ventricular area. Understand? So in this way, initiation and conduction of heartbeat takes place in human beings. Pulse. Okay, so next topic is pulse. When the heart beats, the blood is forced into the arteries, right? When the heart beats, the blood is pushed into the arteries. So at that time, the expansion of the artery, every time the blood is forced into it. Okay, so already I told, when the blood is pumping the through the arteries are carrying the blood, is it? So arteries have the thick walls. Why they are having the thick walls? Because the blood is forced into the artery with high pressure. The blood is forced into the arteries. Okay, so that is known as what? Pulse. The expansion of the artery, every time the blood is forced into it, that is known as what? Pulse. The normal pulse rate is 70 to 90 per minute. Normal pulse rate is 70 to 90 per minute. Now we have to see how we can calculate or how we can find out the pulse rate. Okay, so just have to keep two fingers near to your wrist area. This is your wrist area, is it? So you have to keep two fingers near to the wrist area. So when we are keeping itself, we can find out the pulse rate. Okay, so in one time, how many times that beats happen, so we can find out and calculate. So in that way we can find out the pulse rate. In some persons near to the neck region also, they are keeping the fingers and they are finding. So that is also one method. Anyway, this is the easiest method. Just we have to keep them fingers near to the wrist area and we have to find out the pulse rate. Cardiac cycle. The next topic is cardiac cycle. So first we have to see what is cardiac cycle. The sequence of events occurring from the beginning to the completion of one heartbeat is called cardiac cycle. The sequence of events occurring from the beginning to the completion of the one heartbeat. Beginning to the completion. So in between, what are the events takes place? That is known as what? Cardiac cycle. The total cardiac cycle timing is 0.8 seconds. 0.8 seconds. So in between, what are the events takes place? That you have to see. Okay, so during the cardiac cycle, blood flows through the chambers of the heart in a specific direction. You know that, is it? So we have studied about types of blood circulation. So 3 types we have studied. So in that blood circulation, left ventricle, from the left ventricle, one artery, pulmonary, from the right ventricle, pulmonary artery arises and it carries the blood, as well as from the left ventricle, aorta carries the blood to different parts of the body. Is it? Yes, children. So during the cardiac cycle, blood flows through the chambers of the heart in a specific direction. Okay, specific direction. That word have to remember. Okay, so here each cardiac cycle lasts about 0.8 seconds. The total events 0.8 seconds. Okay, then what are the events takes place? So first event is atrial systole. Atrial systole, the duration is 0.1 second. Second one, ventricular systole, duration 0.3 second. Third one, ventricular diastole, that is 0.4 second duration. Anyway, total 0.8. 0.1 plus 0.3 plus 0.4, so totally 0.8 seconds. See here, atrial systole 0.1, ventricular systole 0.3. Then total cardiac, last one, ventricular diastole, the third one is 0.4 seconds. Atrial systole means contraction of auricles. Systole, what's the meaning of systole? Contraction. So contraction of auricles, that is the atrial systole. The duration is 0.1. Then ventricular systole, contraction of ventricles. Systole meaning contraction. So ventricular contraction, that is 0.3 seconds. Then third one is ventricular diastole, relaxation of the ventricles. Okay, so atrial systole, contraction of auricles. Then ventricular systole, contraction of ventricles. Ventricular diastole, relaxation of ventricles. Anyway, totally 0.8 seconds. So what is cardiac cycle? The sequence of events. These are the events, is it? The sequence of events occurring from the beginning to the completion of one heartbeat. Beginning to the completion of one heartbeat. That is known as what? Cardiac cycle. I hope you all understood about the cardiac cycle. Students, now we are going to see one interesting topic, that is heart sounds. Do you know what sound is produced by our heart? Yes, correct. That is lub and dub. The sound is lub and dub. How it is produced, do you know? We have to see that only now. The sounds of a normal heartbeat are known as lub and dub. So the sounds are known as lub and dub and are caused by blood pushing on the walls of the heart. How it is produced? By blood pushing on the walls of the heart. When the blood flows through the heart or through the arteries and veins, at that time blood pushing on the walls, so that heart to produce sound. That sound is known as lub and dub. The lub sound comes first in the heartbeat and is the longer of the two heart sounds. So first sound is the lub sound, that is the longest duration. Second sound is dub sound, that has shorter duration. Now through the diagram we can see how the sound is produced. The first heart sound lub occurs when atrioventricular valves closes. When atrioventricular valves close, the lub sound is produced. See here, this is the atrioventricular valves. This one and this one. These are atrioventricular valves. Atrioventricular valves means tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve. Tricuspid and bicuspid valves are known as atrioventricular valves. So when the valves closes, the heart to produce what sound? Lub sound. Yes, tricuspid and bicuspid valves close. At that time the heart to produce lub sound. Now second one. Second heart sound dub occurs when semilunar valves close, when the semilunar valves close, the heart to produce dub sound. So this is first semilunar valve, this is the second semilunar valve. So when these valves close, the heart to produce dub sound. So these are the two sounds, lub sound and dub sound. Now, are you ready to hear the heart sound? Yes? Okay. Did you hear the sound? Yes. Now see here the first sound. Which sound you heard the first time? That is a lub sound. It is due to the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves. So closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves, you heard the first sound, that is lub sound. Second sound is due to the closure of semilunar valves. Second sound that is due to the closure of semilunar valves, you heard, is it? That is the dub sound. So lub and dub sound, the heart to produce. Now one heartbeat is equal to a lub plus a dub sound. So one heartbeat is equal to a lub sound and a dub sound. Now we are going to discuss about blood pressure or BP. First we have to know about the definition of blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force exerted during the flow of blood against the lateral walls of arteries. So blood pressure means that is a force exerted during the flow of blood against the lateral walls of arteries. Okay, the blood pressure is high in the arteries. So arteries are carrying blood from the ventricles. Okay, so at that time the blood pressure is high and gradually drops in the arterioles and capillaries and become very low in the veins. So when it is coming back to the heart, at that time the blood pressure is low. Here there are two types of blood pressure. One is the systolic blood pressure and the next one is the diastolic blood pressure. Systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, one by one we have to see. So first we have to see the systolic pressure. Okay, so during the ventricular systole, so here this is the ventricles, is it? So during the ventricular systole, the left ventricle contracts and forces blood into aorta. So this ventricles pump the blood through the arteries. Ventricles pump the blood through the arteries. So at that time the heart muscles contract. Okay, arteries are carrying the blood means the blood pressure is very high. Okay, so because of the high pressure, the heart muscles contract. So this is known as what? Systolic pressure. Then see the next one, that is the diastolic pressure. So diastolic pressure means during diastole, the ventricles relax. So when the blood is coming back to the atrium, the heart muscles relax. Okay, so the veins are carrying the blood to the heart, is it, or to the atrium. So at that time the pressure is low. So it is referred as diastole. Okay, diastolic pressure. So here the pressure is high, because of that heart muscles contract, that is known as systolic pressure. But here the pressure is low, so the heart muscles relax, that is known as what? Diastolic pressure. Now in a normal person, the blood pressure is 120 by 80. 120 by 80. So normal blood pressure is 120 by 80. Understand? Yes. So what is the normal blood pressure? Normal blood pressure is 120 by 80. Okay. So yeah, if the level is high, more than 120, 130, 140, that is known as high BP. And the level is very low, below 80, that is known as what? Low BP. So this more than 120, 140, 150, that is known as hypertension or high BP, high blood pressure. Here below 80, that is known as low blood pressure. Okay, so this high BP leads to heart problems as well as the stroke, heart attack or stroke. So how we can reduce the high BP? How we can reduce? We can take exercise every day, morning as well as evening. We have to take the exercise and eat only the healthy food items, vegetables, fruits. These are the items we have to eat, as well as reduce the oily food. We should reduce the oily food. If we continuously, when we are eating the oily food, means the cholesterol, that fat deposited in the heart area or in the walls of the arteries. Okay, these are these areas the cholesterol is deposited. When it is deposited in this area, if the cholesterol is deposited in this area, so how the blood can flow? Cannot. Blood can flow, but very risk is there. So that condition leads to heart problem. So have to reduce the oily food items. Then take rest, take exercise as well as take rest. When we are following these all things, we can reduce the hypertension or high BP. Now we can see the blood pressure categories. So blood pressure category, these are the 5 blood pressure categories. So first category is normal, second one elevated, third one high blood pressure stage 1, next one high blood pressure stage 2, and the last one is hypertensive crisis. So normal means less than 120. Systolic BP is less than 120 and diastolic level is less than 80. That is the normal blood pressure, 120 by 80. Then elevated, that is 120 to 129 and less than 80. So this also related to normal only. Because of this BP also there is no problem. So 120 to 129 and diastolic level is less than 80. That is the elevated conditions. Then high blood pressure stage 1. That is the systolic BP is 130 to 139 and diastolic level is 80 to 89. Then high blood pressure stage 2, 140 or higher and the diastolic level is 90 or higher. So these two areas, when they are feeling high BP, immediately they have to consult with the doctor and have to take the proper treatment also. Then the last one is the dangerous condition, hypertensive crisis. That is higher than 180 and here higher than 120. That is the dangerous conditions. Immediately the particular person have to meet the doctor and they have to get the treatment also. Yes, so these are the blood pressure categories. Anyway, normal is less than 120 and less than 80 or 120 by 80. That is the normal BP of a particular person or healthy person. Blood groups. Our first topic is blood groups. The concept of blood grouping was developed by Carl Landsteiner in 1900. So blood grouping was developed by scientist. The name of the scientist is Carl Landsteiner in 1900. He identified 3 blood groups, A, B and O. A, B and O blood group. Then one more scientist, his name was De Castello and Steini. He identified AB blood group. He identified AB blood group. So Carl Landsteiner identified A, B and O blood group and De Castello and Steini identified AB blood groups. Human blood contains specific substances called antigen and antibody. 2 specific substances are found in the blood. They are known as antigen and antibody. Antigen, another name is agglutinogens, and antibody, another name is agglutinins. These antigens are found in the surface of RBC. So antigens are found in the surface of RBC and antibodies are present in the blood plasma. Antibodies are present in the blood plasma. So first we have to see what is antigen and what is antibody. Antigen. An antigen is a molecule capable of stimulating an immune response. So it is a molecule and it is capable of stimulating immune response. Antibody. Antibodies are present in the blood plasma. It is also known as one more name also there, that is immunoglobulin. So based on the presence or absence of antigen and antibodies, human blood group is classified into 4 groups. They are A, B, AB and O. So based on the presence or absence of antibodies or antigens. So human blood group is classified into 4. They are A blood group, B group, AB group and O group. An individual has one of the 4 blood groups, any one blood groups. Blood type. So A group individuals, this is the A group individuals. In this A group individuals, antigen A is present on the surface of the RBC. This is the surface of the RBC. So on surface of the RBC, antigen A is present. Okay, surface of the RBC, antigen A is present in A group individuals. Okay, and antibody B is present in the blood plasma. In the blood plasma, antibody B is present. Anti-B means that is the antibody B is present. Okay, so A group individual, surface of the RBC, antigen A is present, and in the blood plasma, antibody B is present. Then second blood type, that is B group individuals. B group individuals. In the B group individuals, antigen B is present on the surface of RBC. Okay, antigen B. So now you see the difference. This is antigen A. Here antigen B is present on the surface of the RBC. Then in the blood plasma, antibody A is present. Antibody A is present, but antigen B is present. Then third blood group is AB blood group, AB group individuals. Antigens A and B are present on the surface of the RBC. Antigen A also present, antigen B also present. Both the antigens are present on the surface of the RBC. Then in the antibody, in the blood plasma, there is no antibody, absence of antibody. There is no antibodies present on the plasma. Then third group is O blood group, O blood group individuals. Antigen A or B are absent. There is no antigens. Antigen A also absent, antigen B also absent. There is no antigens are present on the surface of the RBC. Then antibodies in plasma. In the plasma, antibody A and antibody B both are present. Okay, there is no antigen, but both the antibodies are present on the plasma, blood plasma. Understand, children? Now you see here antigens in red blood cells. So this indicates A antigen. This shows B antigen. Here both A and B also present. Here there is no antigen. Blood donation. So one who is donating the blood, that persons are known as donors, and one who is receiving the blood, that persons are known as recipient. So first we have to see universal recipient. Recipient means one who is receiving the blood. Persons with AB blood group are called universal recipient. Persons with AB blood group are called as universal recipient. Why? They can receive blood from persons with any blood group. They can receive the blood from persons with any blood group. Okay, so AB blood groups persons are called universal recipient. They can receive the blood from all the blood group persons. Okay, so they are known as universal recipient. Then second one is the universal donor. Donor means one who is donating. Okay, persons with O blood group. O blood group are called universal donor, as they can donate blood to persons with any blood group. So they can donate the blood to all the blood group persons. So two types of blood donation, universal recipient and universal donor. Recipient means one who is receiving. Okay, so AB blood group are called universal recipient. They can receive the blood from all the blood group persons. Universal donor means they can donate the blood to all the persons with any blood group. Okay. So here before donating or before receiving the blood, they have to check the antigen and antibody compatibility. Okay, before donating or before receiving the blood, the particular person must check the antigen and antibody compatibility. When an individual receives mismatched blood group from the donor, clumping of blood occurs. So mismatched blood means the clumping of blood occurs and it leads to death. So before donating or before receiving the blood, the particular person must check the antigen and antibody matching. Now we have to see the distribution of antigen and antibody in different blood groups. distribution of antigen and antibody in different blood groups. Blood group, antigens, antibodies can give blood to, can receive blood from. So first AB blood group. So AB blood group person's body, A antigen and B antigen, both the antigens are present but there is no antibodies. So these AB blood group persons can give blood to AB blood group alone. They can give only AB blood group persons and they can receive the blood from AB blood group, A group, B group and O group, all the group of the persons. Okay, so these AB blood group persons are known as universal recipient. They can receive the blood from all the blood groups. Okay, then second one, A group. A group antigen A is present, antibody B is present. So they can give blood to A group and AB blood group persons. They can receive the blood from A group person and O blood group person. Only two, A and O. Then third blood group is B. So in the B group person's body, antigen B is present and antibody A is present. So they can give blood to B group and AB group. B group and AB group. They can receive the blood from B group persons and O group persons. Only two, B and O. The last blood group is O group. So there is no antigen. There is no antigen but antibodies A and B. Two antibodies are present, A and B. Then they can give the blood to AB persons, A group, B group and O group. So they can give all the blood group persons. So they are known as universal donor. They can donate. So it is known as universal donors. They can receive blood from only one blood group, that is O. Okay, so O group persons can receive blood from only O group persons, but they can give or they can donate the blood to AB group, A group, B group and O group. So the O group persons are known as universal donors and AB group persons are known as universal recipient. They can receive the blood from all the blood group persons. RH factor. Next topic is RH factor. This RH factor was discovered by Landsteiner and Weiner in 1940 in rhesus monkey. So this RH factor was discovered by two scientists, Landsteiner and Weiner, in 1940 in rhesus monkey. As it was discovered from rhesus monkey, it is named as rhesus factor or RH factor. Okay, so it was discovered from rhesus monkey, so that it is named as rhesus factor. RH factor means rhesus factor or RH factor. Okay, so the surface of the RBC contain the antigen for RH factor. Okay, see here in this, this is a red blood cell. Okay, the surface of the RBC contain RH factor. So this persons are, this is known as what? RH positive. RH factor is present on the surface of the RBC. So it is known as RH positive. Here there is no RH factor. So it is known as RH negative. Okay, already we have seen antigens also present on the surface of the RBC, antibodies also present. Okay, so this also RH factor also present on the surface of the RBC. So it is known as RH positive. If there is no RH factor, that is known as what? RH negative. Now through this diagram we can see. Just you see the colors. Okay, so this black color indicates RH factor. So here the black color. Okay, that indicates RH factor. This light yellow color or orange. So this color indicates A antigen and blue color indicates B antigen. Okay, now AB blood group. So AB blood group contain A antigen. A antigen also present, B antigen also present and RH factor also present in AB blood group person's body. Okay, here A blood group person's body, antigen A is present and RH factor also present. B group person's body, B antigen is present and RH factor is present. O blood group, there is no antigen and antibody but only the RH factor is present on the surface of the RBC. Lymphatic system. This lymphatic system consists of lymphatic capillaries, lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes and lymphatic ducts. So lymphatic system consists of lymphatic capillaries, lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes and lymphatic ducts. Lymph is the fluid. So through the lymphatic system lymph flows. Okay, lymph is a fluid. So that lymph flows through the lymphatic system. This lymphatic capillaries, this is the lymphatic vessel. Okay, so lymphatic capillaries unite to form large lymphatic vessels. Lymphatic capillaries means that is the smallest one. So that lymphatic capillaries unites to form lymphatic vessels. Now lymph node, this small area, this small dot or oval shaped structure, that is a lymph node. So these lymph nodes are small oval or pear shaped structures located along the length of the lymphatic vessels. So along the length of the lymphatic vessels, these lymph nodes are located. Okay, that is a small oval or pear shaped structure. Okay, so through the lymphatic system one fluid flows. That fluid is known as lymph. That is a colorless fluid. Lymph is a colorless fluid. So lymphatic system consists of lymphatic capillaries, lymphatic vessels and lymph nodes. Then one more, lymphatic ducts also present. So this lymphatic capillaries are smallest one. That capillaries unites to form lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic organs also present. Thymus and spleen. These are the lymphatic organs. Thymus and spleen are the lymphatic organs. Now we are going to see the lymph as well as functions of lymph. Our last topic is lymph. Lymph is a colorless fluid. Lymph is a colorless fluid that flows through the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system already we had seen, is it? So lymph is a colorless fluid that flows through the lymphatic system. This lymph contains less protein, small amount of nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and WBC. The next one is functions of lymph. What are the functions? Lymph supplies nutrients and oxygen to those spots where blood cannot reach. So in our body some of the areas blood cannot reach. So in that areas this lymph distributor, it carries nutrients and oxygen. Carries absorbed fats from small intestine to the blood. So it carries absorbed fats from the small intestine to the blood. The lymphocytes in the lymph defend the body from infections. So lymph contain lymphocytes. These lymphocytes also present in the lymph. So these lymphocytes fight with the microorganisms. So the infections cannot affect the particular person. So lymphocytes in the lymph defend the body from infections. So these are the three functions of lymph. So what is lymph? Lymph is a colorless fluid that flows through the lymphatic system. Then lymph contains less protein, small amount of nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and WBC. Then these are the three functions of lymph.